Now to the program being hailed as an education breakthrough, a system of virtual tutor, in fact, where children get instant attention and their problems are solved. And as Karen Cooper reports, teachers and parents are raving about the results that are seeing even the most troubled children go to the top of the class.
5 times 4 is the same as 5 plus 5.
12-year-old Julian Clark Wellsmore is learning the concept of grade 6 multiplication online.
Yeah.
Is it like having a teacher explain it to you?
Yeah.
It is?
1, yes, 2, 5. Yeah, it's exactly like a teacher.
Year 5 student Jade Wilkinson is doing an exercise in horizontal graphing and so far hasn't had to put her hand up for help. So if you get stuck on a problem,
Yeah.
you don't have to wait for your teacher to come along and help
No.
you? You've got somebody else to tell?
Yeah.
So it's like having another teacher, isn't it?
Yeah.
Having 26 children in the classroom, it allows a more individualised approach.
Does that mean it feels like there's 26 teachers in the classroom?
To an extent, yes, that would be the case, because each person can determine their own learning scheme.
It just doesn't let them miss anything.
Virtual teacher.
A virtual teacher.
Philip Laird runs Eduss, a technology solution to the growing class size problem in our schools. The software system allows precious one-on-one time between teachers and their students, even if the teacher is computer generated.
When we add 5 4 times, we get 20. Look at the illustration.
You've got more abled students, you've got the middle of the road students, and you've got boys that need extra help. But the Eduss program allows the students to work at the level they're most suited at.
Does this replace the teacher?
Certainly not, no, but it allows the boys, if help is needed, not to take my time away from everyone else.
Grade 6 teacher Andrew Philp says not only is the system helping his students, but he knows exactly what level each is up to.
In the green bit here means that Jacob doesn't have to work on this topic anymore, but it's the pink that he has to. And I can look at that and say, all right, well, Jacob has mastered vertical addition up to 10,000.
The system has been designed to assess each student, then automatically caters for their individual learning levels. An electronic textbook, if you will. But instead of students waiting to see if their work is correct, it's instantaneous, and they can't move on until they've grasped the concept.
The program is saying to itself, you got that wrong, let's try something easier. You got that wrong, let's try something easier, until it gets back to where they have a level of understanding.
And alternatively, if a student picks it up quickly, they don't have to wait around for the rest of the class. The computer moves them on to the next area. Teachers like David Heaton says it means less disruptions and behavioural problems from bored kids.
It's terrific. I've never seen any software quite like this. I've been working with software for 12 years now.
How were you at maths when you first started year 6?
Well, not as good as now. Improved so much.
The good news for parents is that the program can be bought for just under $400, and for the home, it's like having a virtual tutor.
We get homework from the teacher, but usually my mum tells me to go on this, or I just go on it for fun.
Rebecca Herbert's mum, Gail, has given the Eduss more than a pass mark.
She goes through it, she finds it easy to understand, it explains stuff to her. I can help her. I'm learning from it too, because it's been a long time since I was at school.
Okay, what does mum and dad think?
That I'm really smart and they're really proud of me.
And for more details on that story, you can go to our website at todaytonight.com.au or give us a call. And I'll be back with more after this short break.
Hello again, it's wet here tonight in Melbourne. Also coming up, the new learning program taking the pain out of maths and English and getting top marks from those who've actually tried it. All right, here's a familiar worry for parents. How do you get your children to do their homework, and what are they learning at school anyway? Well, a new computer software program answers both of those questions. It's already being used in hundreds of schools around Australia, inspiring a lot of students to keep doing better in maths and English at home.
We're going to be talking about fractions today. We're going to be talking about when we have a whole shape,
From one generation to the next, there are some things you just have to learn.
This is only coloured in a fraction of the shape, and that's why it's called fractions, what we're dealing with today. If I break a shape...
But how we learn, well, that's changing from one generation to the next, as pens and the whiteboard make room for the computer screen. At the Rouse Hill Anglican College in Sydney's northwest, Adam Lindsay uses technology to help teach his Year 3 class.
Essentially the way I use it in my classroom is I'll teach an activity in the class and then I'll use it as a way of consolidating what they're learning.
Eduss, the company which developed the software program that Adam uses, calls it the Integrated Multidimensional Teaching Assistant.
Fantastic. Excellent. Let's do another one.
The kids call it something simpler.
It's cool.
It's cool.
Yep.
Wow. The programs designed for kids between 5 and 14 are for maths and English.
Read the following comprehension passage.
The teacher can set levels for each child and then later receives a report card.
It can be used for remedial activities. For example, if children are having difficulty with a particular concept, they can work at their own pace and their own time on the program.
Which suits Adam.
What were you like before at maths?
Alright, I've just gotten quicker at my maths.
It has all these slides and it tells you how to use it and everything.
Wow. And Laura?
If you don't know something, sometimes you can press teach me and it will teach you and tell you how to do it.
Well, and Matthew?
If there's some things we don't understand with Mr. Lindsay, we can come to the computer and do it, and that might help us understand more.
Click on the correct number of diagrams.
In fact, Matthew's mum, Carol, bought the software for him to use at home.
It allows the kids to review what they've learnt. So if they're unsure of any issues that they've done at school, they can come home and practice it. And as you hear the noise that you get, it's positive reinforcement that they're getting things right.
Now, Carol's not only a mum, but also a computer programmer.
Subtraction.
What mark would you give this program and why?
I'd give it a 9 out of 10. It's easy to use, it works, it doesn't fall over every 5 seconds like some programs do, and the kids like it.
I was in a very, very low group in the writing, spelling and reading, and now I'm in a average group into a very
appalling
little
creature.
Year 6 student Gabrielle Fahim has been using the English program at home to answer the questions she's been too embarrassed to ask at school.
Rather
flighty.
Because people would laugh at me.
And what about here?
Well, nobody would laugh at you, and you'd ask a question, you'd know it, and then next time you don't have to ask.
The biggest change I've found is in her self-esteem and confidence to actually do schoolwork.
Hey Gab, how's it going?
The programs cost $375 each, but Gabby's mum Mary believes it's money well spent.
I mean, if you get a tutor, it's about $30 an hour for a tutor, and she can do a little bit every day. There's no sort of time limits.
It's asking you to figure out what one of the part of the question is. So it's saying something divided by 5 equals 7. I don't think, well, I hope the classroom teacher never becomes obsolete, and I don't think it will, because computers only program and tell you what you program and tell it to do, and it's not as good as being intuitive and responding to what the needs of a child are.
But you wouldn't replace Mr. Lindsay with a computer, would you?
No.
Why's that?
Because I think he's a good teacher.
It's a great idea, isn't it? Scott Bevan with that story. I think he learned a bit too. And there's more information about that learning program at our website. There it is right there. Or, as usual, just give us a call.